Okay, so we've all gotten pretty used to AI that can chat with us, write an email, maybe even create some wild images. But that's just the start. The real next step for AI isn't just about thinking better, it's about doing things. We're talking about a whole new category of AI that can actually take action for you, and we call them AI agents.
Seriously, just think about this for a second. Right now, you might ask an AI, hey, how do I plan a trip to Italy? But what if you could just say, plan my trip to Italy, and it just did it? We're talking booking the flights, finding the hotel, putting it all in your calendar. That's the game-changing shift we're diving into today.
So here's the fundamental difference, laid out plain and simple. On one side, you've got predictive AI. That's the AI we know and love today, right? It answers our questions, it responds when we poke it. But on the other side, you've got agentic AI, and this is a totally different beast. It's not just responsive, it's proactive. You don't give it a prompt, you give it a goal. And then it figures out the plan and actually goes and does it.
Yeah, so moving from predictive to agentic, this isn't just some tiny update. This is a massive leap forward. We're going way beyond simple chatbots here. We're really stepping into a new era where software can start to solve problems all by itself.
Okay, so how does this magic actually happen? What's going on under the hood? Well, to really get it, we've got to look at the anatomy of an AI agent. It basically boils down to three core parts. Let's break them down one by one.
First up, you've got the model. And you can just think of this as the agent's brain, right? This is the large language model that does all the heavy lifting, the thinking, the planning, the decision-making. It's the central intelligence that figures out, okay, what's the next logical step?
But a brain on its own is, well, it's just stuck thinking, right? It needs a way to actually interact with the world. And that's where the tools come in. These are the agent's hands. This is how it actually does stuff. By using APIs, running code, searching databases. This is what lets it look up a flight price, send an email, or pull a report.
And the final piece of the puzzle is the orchestration layer. If the model is the brain and the tools are the hands, then this is the nervous system. It's what connects everything. It manages the whole back-and-forth process, keeps track of the agent's memory, and handles the strategy. It's the part that decides, okay, time to think, now time to act.
So you've got the brain, the hands, and the nervous system. How do they all work together? Well, it's not a one-and-done thing. They operate in this continuous cycle, this constant feedback loop, that lets the agent handle really complex, multi-step jobs.
And honestly, I love this simple definition. When you boil it all down, an AI agent is really just this: large language models in a loop with tools to accomplish an objective. That's it. It's the brain and the hands working over and over in a cycle until the goal is met.
And that loop breaks down into this pretty intuitive five-step process. First, it gets the mission. What's the big picture goal? Then it scans the scene, gathering all the info it needs. Third, and this is the really critical part, it thinks. It actually comes up with a step-by-step plan. Only after it has a plan does it take action using one of its tools. And finally, it observes what happened, learns from it, and goes right back into the loop. It just keeps iterating until the job is done.
Here's a super simple real-world example. You ask, where's my order? Now, a basic chatbot might just give up and say, I don't have that information. But an agent thinks. It creates a plan. Step 1, I need to find this person's order in the database. Step 2, okay, now I'll use the shipping company's API to track the package. Step 3, report the status back to the user. See? It's a whole sequence of thought and action, not just a simple lookup.
All right, so that basic loop is already pretty powerful, right? But here's where things get really, really interesting. It's when you start to scale this whole idea up, creating systems of agents with wildly different levels of skill. This taxonomy here kind of shows the evolution. You start at level 0, which is basically a brain in a jar. All thought, no action. At level 1, you give it hands by connecting it to tools. Level 2 is where it learns to do that multi-step planning we just talked about. But then you keep going, and by the time you hit level 4, you have a system that's so advanced it can literally create its own tools to solve problems it's never seen before. Wild stuff.
And level 3 is especially cool. Check this out. Instead of trying to build one single know-it-all super agent, you build a team of specialists. So you have a project manager agent that gets a big goal like launch a new product, and then it just delegates the work out to a market research agent, a marketing agent, and a web dev agent. It's basically building an AI-powered company org chart.
So when you put all this together, the big takeaway isn't just about automation. It's really about collaboration. We are right on the edge of having these incredibly capable AI teammates that can work right alongside us.
And this quote just nails the shift in what our job becomes. We're not the bricklayers anymore, painstakingly writing every single line of code. Our role is becoming more like a director. We set the scene, we give the AI the context it needs, and then we guide this autonomous actor to achieve the final goal.
And that really brings us to the final thought here. This stuff is moving so fast. It's really not a question of if we'll be working with AI agents, it's a question of when. So I'll leave you with this. When that day arrives, and it might be sooner than you think, and you have this brand new, super capable AI teammate, what's going to be its first assignment?